We're 2 and a bit hours into a shelter build and the SD card has just come up with an error. So we've put the spare one in. We really do hope that when we get home and the footage is saved and we can get it off there once it's plugged into the computer, but at the moment there's a risk that it's completely gone. So I'm going to give you a quick overview because we don't want to lose the whole thing. I think it's a pretty interesting thing what we've been working on. So we've got a central beam that's made out of a green piece of beech. We've got 2 front supports to make the tripod formation. They're all intertwined. We deliberately chose Y sticks so they're all intertwined so it's solid. We've got a central support as well buried in the ground just to minimise any flex at all, because we've opted for pretty substantial timber leaning against the outside of it, so we wanted that main beam to be really strong, hence the green wood, but also equally we wanted a central support as well. And it's propped up on the back there. Next job is to cover it with sticks, smaller branches, and then obviously the leaf matter on top to pretty much just hide it from the world. And that's what it's looking like inside. So obviously you can see the dappled light coming through. The idea will be that that's completely dark in there by the time we're finished. Finn's over there just sorting out some branches. I mean, it's not drawn blood, I think you're okay, but you've really got to be careful. Okay. Woodlands are pretty dangerous places, particularly if you're doing sort of physical work like this. You just chill out in there for a couple of minutes, okay? How's the head injury?
Bad.
You look like you've pretty chilled in there though. You take a couple of minutes and then we'll crack on, okay?
Which side are you going to start to do?
Doing both. A bit more across the top. Gaps like this and then we'll just start chucking leaves off.
Oh. It's already looking sick inside.
Brilliant, isn't it, already?
Look at it. Oh, it's almost picked. Oh my god, there's only a little bit of light sticking.
It's getting there, isn't it? Well, let's keep cracking on. What we're going to do, Finn, we'll double up the layer and that forms a bit of a barrier so we can jam loads of this leaf litter and sticks into there, okay? Tidy these up, Finn. I think we will take these, even though the porch was a pretty decent idea. It's pretty deep in there. I think I've already caught my back on this one, so I think we'll take. That thing, for the moment at least, is just about it, I think.
Yes.
You can barely see it until you see the front. Then do you want to go and get inside?
It's so dark in here, and especially, can you even see me?
No, I can't. And then this is probably the better side.
Yeah.
with the leaves.
Because that'll decide steeper.
Yeah, so I reckon it's probably not quite waterproof yet. Next time we come, and if we're going to stay in there, we'll get another load of leaves on it. Okay, right, shall we get some lunch on the go?
Yeah! I'm going to use the bow drill set.
Got a bit of ash. We'll process that for the bush box.
Okay.
You generate more power if you're cutting from above. So if you cut always horizontal, you're always going to work harder than just pulling upwards like that, but you've still got to make sure that saw runs in that groove, otherwise it'll catch like that. That's it. Brilliant. So I'm not going to prompt you unless I need to, okay? So what you can always do with this, tuck the piece of wood with that. That's it, so that will straighten it back up there.
Okay.
Okay, then you can hit again. Very good. Brilliant, well done. Now what I'd suggest you doing at the moment is you're hitting it, you're not putting as much pressure on that side, so when you hit it with the wood, it's tilting like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you've got to be really solid with this hand. Brilliant, well done. Smalls, mediums and larges, plus we may as well get this.
All of them?
Yeah, we'll get the pine needles going, because once we've got the bird's nest, these will take like a treat. I think that's probably enough. We've got quite a nice selection there.
And then we've got this and then that one.
Just got a clean area to work on. Jump up.
I am afraid of no ghosts.
Oh, that's good to hear, Finn. Do you believe in ghosts?
No, of course I don't.
Right.
Just a myth, isn't it?
I don't know, some people believe in it. Right, so that's a clear area. This little bag of goodies. Bird's nest stuff, which we'll sort out in a sec. So we've got
our bow drill set.
Yeah, so we're not going to harvest things from this woodland, but we've got a couple of now. Let's run through what these things are called. What's that called?
Half board.
Brilliant. These are called
spindle.
Yep.
Bearing block.
Yeah, and one option to use with the bearing blocks is what we're going to use. These are
limpet shells.
Limpet shells, yeah. So we use a couple. Why do we use a couple?
So if one gets hot, the other one won't get as hot.
Yeah, exactly. So main heat is in the one that the spindle's against, and so the next one, which is against your hand, should remain cooler. Got some birch bark as a little ember board, so that's going to catch the hopeful ember that we're going to generate. And the final component, which is obviously indicative of the name bow drill, is the bow. We need a bird's nest as well, don't we? So we make a little cage for that.
Okay. Bit of bracken to go in.
Yep. Put some of the finer stuff in there. So what we've got here, Finn, so this is a spindle. Now, this has been used before, so what we want to do is we need to take off the old burn and give it some fresh wood. We've done that there, and we're going to use a new hole. So what we've got to do is mark up where we want to do, and then we're going to mark the point.
I can do this now.
Okay, I'll mark where we want it to go, and then
you can do it actually.
No, you do it. No, that's not how we do it. No. You're not in a good control of the knife there, okay? So you want to be over, you want to be pin it, and you're just doing that rotating motion. Okay, just making a divot in there. So come in, go switch it around that way because you're right-handed. You're not necessarily just keeping the knife vertical, you're swooping. Okay. We're virtually there. Now the first stage,
it's to burn it.
I've done a silly thing there, I've put that straight on the floor, so that wasn't very sensible. What we want to do is keep that completely dry. and off the ground, obviously. The other thing about the spindle is we made that domed. We want to make sure that's a point. So what we can use is a chest lever grip, just to make sure that's a sharp point. And the reason, do you know why we need this, the sharp point, this end?
Then all the friction will go down to the bottom and that won't get as hot.
Exactly, yeah. So we want this minimal friction this end. So a point spinning on something that's very sort of as near to frictionless as possible. Loads of friction, downward pressure. It's called a friction fire for a reason. We want loads of friction because that generates the heat, that generates hopefully the ember. Okay, if you load the bow for me. That's it, and then it's that snap into place, isn't it? Lose this now. I'll get a bit of birch bark actually and just pop that just to keep the half board off the ground slightly as well. We'll put the actual ember pan under there in a second. So it's all about comfort throughout the whole process. So the knees there coming up into this position, and now don't want to keep the bottom of my shoe is wet obviously, so I need to keep the bottom of my shoe well away from that area there. This is off the ground, so we're going to line those up, slide that up slightly higher. Bearing block is in there, and we're just going to gently just start turning. You'll probably notice almost straight away, you see those little tiny little flecks of wood that are coming off. And the goal of this is not to start a fire with this. We're literally just moulding the two, the spindle and the half board together, but you will get a degree of smoke. And you can, if you want, you can speed up and get a lot of smoke.
Yeah, I want to get a lot of smoke.
We'll get that afterwards. Now that cannot go anywhere near the floor now, okay? So we'll pop that, rest that on there for the moment. And now that all you can see, all the dust is going off everywhere, isn't it? And you'll notice that in old ones we've cut a V, so that's what we need to do now, is cut a V. You don't really need to keep that, but you can keep it to one side if you want. And then that's going to allow the dust that we're creating to fall down and start to form a pile at the bottom, and that will be hopefully become our ember. Okay, so we only want to cut out about 1/8. It's like a slice of pizza. Or cake, yeah, that is 1/8 of the whole cake. So what we want is maximum airflow around the bottom. So after finishing with the saw, I'm just going to tidy it up a little bit with a knife, but also going to just open up just the under section there. Not the prettiest, but it should be okay. So we're going to snap this into position, Finn. Let me get it started first.
But you do lots of smoke.
So the key is that you don't go hell for leather, you don't go berserk to start with. You literally just want to start just getting it warmed up again because it's completely cooled off. So we're not going mad. But you can see already, you see the dust is starting to collect there.
Yeah.
Go for a while.
So I said you can go really fast.
I'm just going to build up and build up and build up. Oh no. That doesn't help, you see. Getting loads of damp dirt everywhere, but hopefully I think we're okay. Do you know what? We might have an ember already. So you can see, Finn, that actually...
You can see that red there.
Yeah, that is the ember. So there's no need to panic now. Put any dust there. But that worked an absolute treat. Okay, so you're gonna... That's it, brilliant, Finn. So why are you wafting your hand there Why are you wafting your hand and not blowing?
Because when you blow, that blow has moisture in it.
It does. Okay, everything's going to be set up.
So the nearest entrance is probably forward.
Okay. That ember's gone in there now. Okay, so it's over to you. Actually, you need your gloves on. Quickly pop them on. They're down there, Finn, quickly. Gotta watch this ember's gonna go. We have lost the ember. Right, so that's a classic example. We weren't ready, faffed around, and we lost the ember. Okay, so we've got to start again, which isn't a major problem.
Are we still going to use the same hole?
Yeah, we hardly got burnt anything then. So that's an interesting lesson there, isn't it? That everything was ready, but you hadn't got your gloves on, and it wasn't a particularly big ember because we got it so quick. So, right, let's quickly crack on. Let's do it again. Such is life with these. So pop it into that position. Again, just as before. Take it nice and steady to start.
I want to see how much smoke you can make. That is definitely an ember.
Off that. So that is definitely smoking again, isn't it?
This time we cannot lose it.
Because look, it's windy day today. Can you see how much that's just, we're not having to waft it, the wind is taking and getting that going. It's a lovely coal. So we're going to pop it into there.
I'll move these pieces out quickly so we're ready to go for the bush box. There we go.
There you go, over to you, Finn.
Like that?
Yeah, it's perfect.
I go. It's going to go very soon.
Okay, wait, we need to make sure it's getting all the... Okay, and again. Just gently, let's keep it.
This is going to go out soon.
Is it still there, or have you blown it out?
It's going to go soon.
It's not smoking.
It's going to go out.
It's going to go out, it's not smoking, is it? No, then it's gone again.
Oh!
Well, this is unusual, isn't it? Right, third time, lucky.
You said that before we have to go faster.
What I'm doing is building up the dust. So I'm doing it slowly to really get the dust built. Oh no, bust the
Look, we have another set. And even if one of those get busted, we can still use that other.
Don't waft it too hard this time. We're going to be just right. Ember number 3. 3 out of 3 embers, but we failed twice on the bird's nest. Let's go with your suggestion and put some of this stuff in.
A bit more on the ground there. That is going to be, that is good.
It burns really quick, these embers.
Good, because then we'll have a better chance of...
Well, not really, because they're burning out too quick.
If it's bigger...
Okay, blow that a bit. Okay. That's it. Okay, that's it. Okay, squeeze it a bit more.
This is going to go out.
Look at that. Piping hot in there, look at the smoke. Right, that's it, stick it in there. Quickly, quickly, quickly.
Please don't go out.
Right, we haven't won yet, Finn. The way things have gone so far, I'm not getting too cocky yet. I think we have got it. God, that was close. That goes to show that even though it looked like it had lost, there's still enough heat in there. As long as you're blowing, you're introducing that oxygen, we can get it back. So that was a really interesting friction fire experience, that. Because actually, usually it's the ember that's the difficult thing to get, but we nailed 3 out of 3 embers. But really struggled to convert it to a flame because they just burnt so quickly. But well done, Finn. Blew another bird's nest.
I can't wait to hear the sizzles. That makes my mouth water.
Oh, it does mine. You've worked hard today.
Yeah, really hard.
Good work, getting that flame back up. How is it?
Good.
It looks good, the amount of ketchup you got around your cheeks. I don't even want to ask what that move is. Is that the move you put at the school disco?
Yeah. It's me school barbecue.
Either or. I didn't know you were dancing at the barbecue.
When we were playing football, I was like this.
Just about going to wind up there. We just wanted to say, left no trace, have we, Finn?
Nope.
Everywhere around. This is where we've had our lunch. Fire's packed away, although it was only the bush box. So we're done and dusted, but we're going to head down, walk back down and take a look at the shelter. The plan in the future is to come back and spend the night in the shelter, so go and take a look at it. It needs a little bit more work. We need to put some more leaf litter on the top. No, what do you do? Worked. Yeah, it swivels, doesn't it? Right, come on, let's go and have a look at the shelter, Finn. This was about 3.5 hours graft. If we were staying, we would sleep in that tonight, but we've got to go, as I said earlier, or maybe I didn't say earlier if you don't get to see what I said, because we lost the memory card. But this is the shelter we built. You want to get in there, Finn?
You can't even see me when I go. You can just about see me here.
A bit more light in there now, actually, because the sun's changed direction, so we can almost see you at the back. Yeah, so there it is. So we'll be back at some point to spend the night in there. It's quite high, so we might do a little bit more work on the door, but we'll have to see. Finn, is there anything you want to say?
If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Bye! Yo!